Here we go, guys. Going through some more GeoGebra skills for you, okay? We're going to talk about perpendicular bisector, okay? So let's go and do it, okay? You're going to have more tools available, okay? Uh, so perpendicular bisector says you got to have a segment, and you got to find its midpoint, and of course you have a midpoint tool right here, finds the midpoint, okay? And you got to pass through that midpoint with another line, a segment, or a ray, such that you make a right angle with that, okay? So, you could try, and it might get a little, okay, iffy. Oh, do I know that that's a right angle? Well, I don't know. In fact, let's see. You can always measure it, right? Here's your measuring tool here. You can say, oh, click on, remember you got to go clockwise. Click, click, and click. Well, that's not a right angle, okay? So there's a better way, okay? So let's back out of that and show you. In fact, I don't even need to find a midpoint because I have a tool right here, okay, that is the perpendicular bisector. So it says down here, move this out of the way for you, just select, okay, perpendicular bisector right here, okay? Now, perpendicular bisector right here. Here's the perpendicular line. Perpendicular bisector right here. Click on, there it is. Now, the only thing you have to do then is you have to label that point, which means you got to find that point of intersection, which means, okay, you got to look down here, some more tools, okay? The intersection is a point tool because it is a point. So here's a point, here's an intersection. Click, click, okay? And then you do need to also put a point on there. And this is a point on the object. So you got to point on that perpendicular bisector. Now, I can assure you, okay, that when you measure that angle, okay, make sure you're measuring it clockwise. Click on the points. It's going to put a box down there because it is a right angle. That's all the time, all the time. Now here's something that's really cool with perpendicular bisectors, okay? All right, so let me back out and show you this, okay? I'm going to just put 3 points up, okay? Pick the right tool, 3 points, randomly spaced apart, okay? I'm going to make a triangle, all right? With the segments. Oh, didn't want that, okay? Okay, so I have a triangle ABC. Now, I'm going to use my perpendicular bisector tool, click on each side of the triangle, okay? And you notice that, okay, all the perpendicular bisectors of the sides of the triangle meet at one point right here. Okay, that point. Let's find that point. Again, that's an intersection point. Click, click. That's an intersection point. Now, what's cool about that is a couple things. First off, if I move this triangle, shape it into maybe a right triangle, an obtuse triangle, okay, that point is always going to be where the perpendicular bisectors intersect. And that point is called the circumcenter. So the circumcenter is the point where all the perpendicular bisectors of the sides of a triangle intersect. And what's really cool about that point is when I go and construct a circle with that point as my center, that circle is going to reach out and that's going to contain each point of the triangle. And that circle is now called the circumscribed circle. And again, look what happens. Manipulate this thing, okay? Change the triangle. Here's an obtuse triangle. Look, circumcenter outside of the triangle. Let's make this into a right triangle. Look what happens. Look what happens with that circumcenter. Right at the midpoint of the hypotenuse of the triangle. Go acute, and the circumcenter is inside. Okay? So some skills there regarding perpendicular bisectors and circumcenters and circumscribed circles. Okay? Perpendicular bisectors, right? Passing through the midpoint at a right angle. Circumcenter, point where the point where the perpendicular bisectors meet. Circumscribed circle, circle whose center is the circumcenter and which contains each point of the triangle. Okay? So that'll do it for this one. We'll have another video following.